Pinkert here from TradeGATEHub, and we are sponsored by TradeView Markets. I want to just give you a quick update from yesterday's action. We did get some pretty good follow through when we were talking about the dollar rallying. The euro was trading right around this 102.20, so we've broken another 100 pips. If you recall, I'm looking for over 107. I showed you the different stop levels in the dollar index. Looks like it's trying to put a little fade in here, but I'm thinking 107.23, 68, 61.8 back fib for a sell in the dollar. And then my preferred longs most likely are going to be the Aussie and short in Canada. You could tell just looking at short-term tops, short-term time frames, how strong the dollar has been, how weak the euro has been, and yet when you look at Aussie, it's still maintaining all its moving averages. The reason for this is, as people were talking about peak inflation, right at the bottom of this recent decline in yields to 276, which is a big level that we broke down from. If you see my charts, I'll move my picture down a little bit. We have a drive 1, a drive 2, and I'm looking for yields to probe back above or at 3% in the coming days. That's part of the narrative of the dollar rebound strength and the weakness in metals, which are also following through. Again today, I do believe that even if there are rallies, that patience will pay in the precious metals. I still am looking for levels like between 1744 and 1730 on a pullback in the gold. Silver has different fib levels. First one halfway back at 1948. We might even go 61.8 back here. All of this is going to be timed upon 10-year getting up to 3%, and you could also time your precious metal buys with a dollar top, another say 90 points from here, 107.20. So everything I talked about did start to manifest. The only thing that might be new, and we're rebounding now, is that the S&Ps are beginning to diverge on this 4-hour time frame. There are a lot of people looking for the 200-day moving average to be taken out. I believe there's a chance with this stronger dollar that we pull back before we break out over the moving average, and that moving average is very close to the weekly 50-week at 43.42. So don't chase markets up here. Wait for a pullback. If you're aggressive, maybe look for shorting opportunities. Most of the short-term indicators, even at this high up here, we were not confirming. Maybe a little bit. It may probe that 43 level again, but I'm thinking we could have a correction maybe down towards 41.25, maybe 40.50 before we make our next move. A little late to be getting in this move at this time frame after this tremendous recovery, which really didn't take. If you were a TradeGATEHub participant and you've been listening to Mike Venezia and me, we talked about the bottom in the S&Ps in late June. I was looking for a summer rally. It's still summer for another, I think we have another month left of summer until the fall equinox, September 21st. So there could be more left. So even if we do pull back, I do think that we will head up higher, maybe even up towards 4,500 in the weeks ahead. But I think it would actually be healthy for the market to pull back a bit first, getting pretty frothy here. The yen, I still think, has a shot for this 137 level to squeeze out all the shorts here. Same thing I said yesterday. And yesterday didn't look as, you could have as much conviction, because even with the dollar strength yesterday, the yen was basically unchanged. All the strength was with euro weakness. And we also had some Canadian inflation news today, and it was moderate. I still think that Canada has a chance to clean out the stops above this 29.80, maybe head up towards 30.34 in the days ahead, which would be a shorting opportunity for me. Looking at copper copper's trying to hold. I wouldn't be getting long copper here, but I would put my fib retracements in here in the copper and look to be a buyer in copper on a pullback, maybe around this 335 level, 330 level, wrong under the lows. So just be patient. Euro's pretty oversold. Here's your daily, and my line comes in closer to the 78.6 level, which you can see if I kind of expand it for you, which is going to come in right around the 107.30 level. So Euro trying to reverse here, but I'm still going to be patient and wait for my number in the Dixie. And my number in the Dixie right now is still 95 away up towards 107.20. And we'll see if the yen can squeeze higher toward above 136, again, with the yields leading the way back up towards 3%. And as you can see on the daily, that's exactly where the 50-day moving average is coming in, right around this 296 level. So the whole basis for what's happening in the dollar and precious metals, I think, is one more push up in yields. I do expect after this last push up in yields for us to end up taking out these 250 lows and trading down here towards 230, possibly if you look at a weekly, 220 is a possible target for the 10-year yield down the road. So in the meantime, patience pays. I would love to see the euro underperform cable and get one more break down towards 83 in euro pound. I would definitely give this a shot, risking the lows at 82. And just wanted to update everybody on the fact that what I said yesterday continues to manifest. I do expect bounces along the way to my targets. Nothing goes straight down to a level. You get oversold, you get a bounce. I think that's all we're getting in the euro. Haven't even really had a bounce in the metals yet. They're trying to come back now. But I think this is going to be a very important buying opportunity in the precious metals coming up. I am expecting a higher low, and then wave 3 could be a pretty big wave to take silver back up towards 22.5. And after gold bottoms here, I think that 1880 is very doable again. 1880, 1900. Just being patient with buys. Same thing in the shares. Gold shares are up a little bit today after being a little bit lower. I would still be patient on this. BTG, same type of scenario. If gold heads towards 1740, maybe we see 720 again, 320 again. And here is First Majestic, drawing your fibs, just eyeballing it. I'm thinking around 720, so there could be another 80 cents, maybe if silver's 1940, 1920, that could happen. And then Endeavor, which has a pretty good chart pattern, I'll be a buyer between 61.8, 3.25, and 308 on this pullback. There are some cycles due on the 22nd, which would be a week from yesterday. So the time to be alert is late this week, early next week for this counter trend move, which I'm considering. I know I see a lot of people looking for new highs in the dollar to take out the 109 level. For now, I'm looking for it to be a failing rally, and we'll attempt that, believing that those highs are in and there's another break to the downside in the dollar that could take it perhaps down to 102. And there's another rally coming in precious metals after this decline. So this would be 102 here on the Dixie. Take a look at the weekly here. 102 would just be kind of an equivalent count. You had 5 from here, so we go to 107, and you have equality. It would be 102. If you have a fib extension of it, maybe it pushes all the way down to par. So an update, invite people to join us today and every day in TradeGATEHub.com. Bring your ideas, bring your charts, and let's create this mastermind community. It's beginning to grow. Become part of it. There's no charge. We're not trying to upsell any subscription for the analysis that Michael and I provide, as well as some traders in our room. It's optional if you want to set up an account at TradeView Markets. That's up to you. I do believe, though, whatever broker you're with, you never know what kind of racehorse you have. I think Mike would appreciate this. You don't know what kind of racehorse you have until you run it against another. So you may want to check out TradeView Markets, set up a demo, look at the different platforms and all the different instruments that you could use there. So everyone have a good day trading. I'll be back with you tomorrow. You're going to get a lot of me this week, like it or not. I do have a great guest on Thursday from at Economic Cycles, Lakshman Akutang, who has been on CNBC for years. Last time I talked to him, he was talking recession. We'll see if his narrative has changed. And don't just count your pips, count your blessings. I'll see everyone tomorrow, same time, same station. Adios.